Okay, so I still haven't read the patch notes for Jacko, so I mean, like, hey, all I know is that she's strong now. What could possibly go wrong? Well, thankfully, not too much, but I can easily see a lot of opportunities where bad things can happen. So, hey, you see how she just super jumped up on the list? Immediately got her Elysian driver off, and thankfully, my Yulha is pretty fucking thick. So, we don't die to that. Savior Aiden's only going to go into Dark Corvus. We also don't die to that. And now Jacko is protected by invincibility. So, yay, props to ggXReloaded here for actually, like, having a really good plan here. This Jacko is actually fairly protected for a very good portion of the fight, and I'll point out each instance of it. So here I saw that my HP was low enough on Yulha that it was worth it to give it a shot to see if I could kill the Savior Aiden. I do, so hey, we're down 1 unit. Now all we have left is Zio and Jacko. So Jacko then gets her stun off right here, which then activates this extra attack that she has, which also gives her stealth. So now I still can't attack her. Ain't that just cheeky? But with that being said, we've already gotten rid of Savior Aiden. All we have left is Zio, and Jacko has completely blown her load. Like, the thing that makes Jacko scary is that basically for like 2 turns, she's really strong. So if you have a really great opener that you can stick into the back row, like Zio, then yeah, you have a really kick-ass opener, because then she just zooms up on the bar because you're probably more than likely going to hit with a debuff. That's pretty much what causes her to jump up. Then you can just go in with some big damage. Thankfully, like, you know, Yulha is pretty much tailor-made a unit that has to be built tanky as fuck. So she's still, like, a pretty good unit that can go into Jacko's. I mean, of course, this is from a Guild War perspective. Like, hey, rip you if you're playing RTA. You're pretty much at the mercy of whatever the fuck bullshit you have to deal with there. Which, hey, if you go watch Valky's latest video talking about countering the Jacko cleave, hey, do RNG dodge shit. But either way, on to the next fight here. So we're going into a Lua, a Senya, and, hey, looky there, it's a fat cat. So what I decided to do here is I'm going to bring Lilias, who's... It doesn't matter who the Lua went into. She could have gone into Benimaru or into Lilias. It does not matter. But now, here's the one risk that I took. And I managed to beat that risk. So I crit the Senya, and then I don't crit her here, but I've done so much damage to her already, she's fucking dead. So now that Senya's gone, all you have left is Fat Cat. And I don't know if you guys know this or not. Yeah, he got buffed recently, but, like, he's a utility character. All Assassin Cartuja really does is he just provides, you know, evasion, which straight up, look at that shit. I missed on Fat Cat and hit on Lua. That's a little embarrassing. But either way, yeah, that's all he is. He's just a utility-based character. He just provides evasion to the rest of the team, and if you have any form of accuracy whatsoever, and you can kind of just deal with the first turn of, like, you know, Lua doing her horse shit, you can just kind of smash through. Ba-da-bump-ba-da-bump. Oh, goody. My favorite team. So, hey, look, it's Lua, Senya, Choux, boys. You know what we're going to do? We're going to tap that fucking auto button, and then we're going to tap Choux. Congratulations, you've just won the game. So, okay, I feel like I have to explain this about every time I do it. But, I mean, I've done it a couple of times, so hopefully you guys have seen this and you understand, like, where I'm coming from. Yeah, Lua, Senya, Choux. It is an unbearably cancerous fucking meta. It's something that straight up shouldn't exist. Lua, as a Covenant character, should not fucking exist. She has the kit of basically a limited unit. She has a really good artifact, too, by the way. You can bait shit with that. And, I mean, here she's using Guiding Light, but, like, hey, besides the point. Absolutely retarded fucking character, and is in the Covenant pool. Okay. I don't know. Hey, Smoggy, you guys think you might want to, like, maybe fix some of your limited heroes? Because, like, I mean, they're only available for certain portions of the year that they're out, and they're nothing compared to some of these fucking Covenants. But, hey, I don't know. Your game. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. I don't care. We're getting close to the end of that 10-year plan anyway. Who knows? But either way, so Lua is Omega Cancer incarnate, right? So how do you really fight that whenever basically what she is this effectiveness unit that goes in and does all this super, super annoying shit? Like, you know, cooldown reduction, putting Beguile, which is just extra damage on you, some brief strip stuff, sleep, just all this stupid shit in her kit. So what do you do with that? Well, the best way to fight it is to fight it with effect resist. So, we pulled out Christy, Roana, and Pyllis, good old CRP, and, well, I just kind of sit there. So, the reason why I have it set up this way is Christy is on Aureus. She has a metric fucking shitload of effect resist, more like around the 200-something range. I think she's at like 210 or something. And then that... 100 of that, which is it's half of your effect resist, goes to whoever's in the back row. So whenever you do that, that's basically 100 effect resist that you just give to a unit of your choice. So I decide to have it go to Pyllis. Now, the reason why I have it go to Pyllis is because Pyllis is your only means of actually doing a cleanse. So if you ever are hit with Beguile, or if you're hit with Blind and Provoke, shit, like if this was, for example, an effectiveness Senya, that's how you're able to cleanse. So then you have no hope of like that ever affecting your Pyllis, even if it's an effectiveness Senya, because like straight up, I have 160 or like 150. I can't even remember the numbers anymore, but I'm so used to her base effect resist on my Pyllis is like in the 200s because she has 150, and then if she's above a certain threshold of HP, then she has an additional 60. So she's like in 210. Then when you add in Christy to that, Shazam, that's fucking that's 300. So that's like your magic number if you ever just not ever want to be affected by effect resist ever. And Roana is just there because we're dealing with counterattacks. And hey, you know Roana, best unit in the game when it comes to dealing with counterattack shit. I mean, there's one other unit that is better, that being Astromancer Elena, but Astromancer Elena doesn't heal you. She just prevents counterattacks. So, for example, if you were going up against, say, a Mercedes, Roana is actually better than Astromancer Elena because Magic for Friends can just straight up proc because it is not a counterattack. Even though it pretty much functions like a fucking counterattack, but it's not a counterattack. Same with Rimmaru's Analyze and Assessed. Kind of fucking sucks, but hey, that's just the way it is. But either way, the way you have it here is you have a metric fucking shitload of effect resist. Nothing really affects you. Lua just kind of stands there and gets really, really sad because she can't do her broken shit. And you just kind of smash through with Rocket Punch Shadow Knight Pyllis because that is also a fair and balanced limited artifact. And right here is where I was attempting to try something a little bit different. So I do need to try something a little different here in terms of, instead of just using Mediator Kawerik, because what happens is whenever I'm using Mediator Kawerik, Arunka, and in this particular case, last piece, Karin, is, yeah, the Savior Adin is dead. Like, she's not coming back from this. But now you still have to deal with ae-KARINA and Conqueror Lilias. Now, this ae-KARINA actually does a lot of damage. I don't know if she's rocking, like... Yeah, see, that's not crit damage. So she's probably just got a metric fucking shitload of defense, had a defense buff, and she went into, like, Mediator Kawerik first. So I just took a ton of damage right off the jump. And I wasn't able to get my my S3 off because he got pushed back by Conqueror Lilias. So here things are looking a little shitty for him, at least. I'm still going to win. Because at first I thought, okay, cool, I should be able to get to my turn, and then I'll be able to hit that ae-KARINA with Arunka's S3. Alas, that doesn't happen. Because, like, ae-KARINA is actually pretty fast. When she, like, does her first, like, cycling through, and she also does her first S3, that speed buff does wonders for her. And because of that, well, hey, I'm going to go into her. Oh, look, counterattack, and to a Rocket Punch proc. Oh, cool, my Mediator Kawerik's dead. Sucks, but... Hey, the plan was to hopefully go in and kill them all before he died. Didn't work out, and then Mediator Kawerik died. Sad face all around. Now, here's a Rand Summertime Iseria team. I usually like to go into these with Senya, and oh fucking shit. So, here's one thing I'll give this dude some advice on. You actually have a pretty perfect Celine bait team right here, but you did mess up by not putting spatio-temporal fan on your... well, actually, no. See, this is where... See, this happened to me in the past a long time ago. He's using Apocalypse Ravi and Ran along with his Summertime Iseria. Now, if you were to put Spatio-Temporal Fan on Summertime Iseria, the only thing that would do is that would, like, it would stealth whoever your other highest attacking unit is. So if he was using a Mercedes instead on the team with the Summertime Iseria and the Ran, you actually have an effective Celine bait. Because then you can't go into the Mercedes because she's going to be protected. But either way, like, this happened to me forever and ever ago. So, like, he had a pretty tanky Summertime Iseria, but hey, we were able to deal with that because we were able to kill her before the S3 went off. And we have Destina on our side just in case something stupid were to happen. Like, for example, I thought that I actually was going to lose my Spirit Eye Celine before she got the first chance to use her S3. Didn't happen, but hey... That's what happens whenever you're fighting these kind of, like, speed contesting kind of teams, is I always like to go turn 2, and I like to bring any form of security or safety in this particular situation. So, we dealt with Summertime Iseria, we dealt with Ran, now all we have left is Apocalypse Ravi, and because we have 1, a Reviver, 2, a perfect bait for Apocalypse Ravi, and just a regular DPS on the team, well, would you looky there, you have no chance of winning. So... now we're just waiting for this to go through, and we're done with the fight. Ah, God, I love the buffs that Spirit Eye Celine got. Just consistency. That's all she needed, was just consistency. So, here, I'm going in with a Sharun, Roana, and a Last Rider Krau. So, this is a Belian, Senya, and a Choux. Kind of an annoying comp, but honestly... he kind of shot himself in the foot here because he made that Belian a counter Belian. Because anytime you have Belian on the field, you're basically just taking a risk. It's a matter of, hey, is this Belian going to be injury or is this Belian going to be counter? And in both situations, you can bring Roana into that, and it does help you a lot in general if you're going to go the turn 2 route. Like, I mean, yeah, you could always speed contest this and just fight it with shit that will just, you know, beat it down. Hell, one thing in particular you could fight this with is you could fight this with Lone Crescent Bellona. The only problem with using Lone Crescent Bellona is you have to make sure you kill Choux ASAP. Because Choux and Senya are actually, like, pretty bad going into Lone Crescent Bellona, especially if you don't have a lot of effect resist or you don't have a cleanser. Because the big thing that'll fuck you up, if it's a Senya, is going into Lone Crescent Bellona... If you don't have effect resist, you don't have immunity or any of that jazz. If you get provoked into blinded, you're probably going to kill yourself. Because if you just go into Senya with that, with blind and provoke, you're more than likely just going to kill yourself with reflect damage. It's happened. So there you go. But like here, we're going into Bellona. Oh no, not Bellona. We're going into Belian. So... Hey, this is a whole bunch of AoE attacks going into Last Rider Krau. Hey, yo, that's the fucking dream right there. And I just so happen to notice I'm actually fighting a fairly decent amount of effectiveness on both of these sides. Like, the Senya is on effectiveness, the Belian is on a little bit of effectiveness. Not too much, because my Roana is completely fine. Because my Last Rider Krau is only, like, at 100 effect resist. Excuse me. At, like, 100 effect resist. So... it's not much, but I mean, hey, you don't want to like just be pumping in all your stats and effect resist. You need that HP, you need that speed, you need that defense because you're going to be taking hits. So hey, gotta make it work. But yeah, going into this team, the Belian immediately shot herself in the foot because she's on counter. Now, if you're ever fighting a Belian and she's counter and you have Roana with you, it's a free win. Like 100%, it's a free win. Like Belian into Roana. And if she's on counter and not on injury, it's 100% free. Now, if she's on injury, the one thing in particular that can happen is she can eventually beat you to the punch with, like, you know, injury damage. So we're almost done with this fight, but the other reason why Sharun is there is she's there to pick up the slack with some injury damage with Venom, but also, every time she takes a turn, Last Rider Krau also zooms up on the CR bar a little bit. And hey, the more turns you get on Last Rider Krau, the better off you're going to be. Because when you get that tier 3 Siegfried, ooh boy, it feels good. And with that being said, that is the Guild War. So, it was, it wasn't really, like, the greatest of Guild Wars. Like, I didn't see a lot of, like, interesting opportunities to do, like, cool stuff. Like, honestly, the most interesting fight was the very first one, and that's because the dude was using, like, a Jacko in a very, very interesting way. Like, the Jacko was just completely protected throughout the entire fight, which, hey, props to you. I think that's exactly how you're supposed to use it. So, hey, good stuff. Good stuff trying to, like, you know, find ways to use your waifu. But, I don't know, man. I'm still not too interested in Jacko, which is funny, because, like, I have a Zeo. I could use Jacko if I really wanted to. I'm just... dude, this is the big problem with, like, E7, is, like, right now it's Hunt Buff Day, and you know what I'm doing? I'm doing a whole bunch of, like, Golem runs, because I'm trying to get that gear for whenever Moonlight Roana comes out, because her gear is, like, next level stupid. You're basically going to be doing attack-based gear with, like, effectiveness and effect resist, and I bet, like, almost no one has this gear, because it's stuff that you would never keep, and you would never use on, like, any unit, and she's, like, the only one that I could really see a use for it. Because what you need whenever ML Roana comes out is, one, you don't want any speed whatsoever, like, you just don't need it, and effect resist is just handy so that you don't get, like, stunned or silenced or any of that other shit, and or restricted, because that's going to be her biggest weakness. Is if you restrict ML Roana, you're donezo. Like your unit's useless. But yeah, I'm doing golem hunts just so I can get, like, an attack set that has, like, high effect resist, high as fuck HP, and then whatever, like, pieces that have high attack on it, just to go onto her. And this is stuff that you would never keep for, like, any other unit. The only one I can even possibly think of is perhaps Senya, if you're going to go, like, for some kind of effect resist kind of build. But that's it. I can't think of any other unit, really, off the top of my head that I would use an attack-based set for. But, hey, either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and like it. If not, don't. It's fine. But if you want to see more of my content, please hit subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. Later.